Hey there folks, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you're all doing well. Today for this episode, this is After the Camp, and we are discussing the After Hours Budget Overnight Adventure. Go ahead and get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee if you want one. Let's go ahead and get started. We should start off this video with discussing why we didn't go to Grandfather Mountain. And really, it's just because I had forgotten that it was Memorial Day weekend. And heading up to Grandfather Mountain to camp out would have been a madhouse. An absolute madhouse. So basically that's why I decided against that trip. I kind of want to wait until it's not as busy. So coming up soon, we will definitely be heading there, no doubt about it. But just for the sake of Memorial Day, I decided to skip it. And plus, I really wanted to do a nighttime adventure. I really wanted to make a point about setting things up, about backpacking and whatnot in the dark. I really wanted to emphasize just how much more work it takes, how much slower you have to go. We got started at 9 o'clock at night, and we didn't even turn into bed till after 1 o'clock. And it took, a long period of time to collect our wood, to get our fire going, to set up our tent, get everything ready. And at nighttime, it takes so much more planning, and it really takes a lot more of your attention to get everything done right. You know, when it came to setting up the tent, it took me about 15 minutes. But it should have only taken me, I would say 7 or 8 minutes. What I didn't show in that video was that I put the poles in the wrong way. When I was setting it up with that limited light, I couldn't tell which side was the bottom and which side was actually the front, and I had the poles wrong. So I had to pull them out, flip-flop them, so that took a little bit more time. And that's really typical. If you're going to set up a tent in the dark, that's going to happen. No matter how much planning, how much experience you have with putting your tent up, your shelter, you will often do stuff like that. And that tent is super, super simple to set up. So if you have a tent that has a lot of poles, lots of sleeves, especially if they're all different sizes, it's very possible that you will make mistakes just like I did. Now, of course, we have to talk about that spider. This spider, guys. Ugh. Definitely, a lot of people have commented about that spider. Bruh. Gosh, that thing was huge. It was really, really large. It was bigger than a 50-cent piece. Now, one of the viewers pointed out that this spider only has 7 legs. I didn't actually notice that before. Good eye, my friend, no doubt about it. One of our viewers, his name is John, he says that he'd rather see a bear than a spider like that, and I have to agree 100%. Ugh, gosh, so awful. Jacko says that they make his skin crawl. They do mine too. We have had a couple of viewers write in with their idea of what type of spider that is. One suggestion was that it was a wolf spider. It could be. I'm pretty familiar with wolf spiders, but I haven't seen one like that before, so it's always possible. Another viewer said that it might be a nursery web spider, and I actually looked those up, and it's very possible. The markings are very similar, so it could be. Who knows? I'm not a spider expert, and the truth is, I don't want to look at photos of them, so you guys can decide whatever that thing is. Alright, that's enough talking about the spider. Let's go on to something else. At the end of the overnight adventure, I did ask you guys your thoughts about Dual Survivor with Cody Lundeen and Joe Ted-Eye, whatever his name is, and whatever the new dude is, Matt something or other. And I got a lot of responses. A lot of people like Cody Lundeen. Some people thought that he was just getting tired of the show. Some people thought he was getting tired of Joe. And, a lot of people seem to dislike Joe. But every once in a while there will be someone who says they do like him. Personally, I don't care too much for Joe. I really don't agree with any of his actions. Most of the time it just seems kind of ridiculous. He's always wanting to do things that, to me, in my opinion, just don't make a whole lot of sense. But that's how it goes, right? No doubt about it. So I want to say thank you guys for your commentary. Very awesome, very interesting to read. Now this was the budget overnighter, and our entire loadout cost less than $300. And like I said in the loadout video, we could save even more money by substituting some of those items, such as going with a cheap fleece blanket for summertime use. You wouldn't have to use something like I did, which was like the Therm-a-Rest Tech blanket, which did an awesome job, by the way. Kept me very warm. I'm actually very, very impressed with it because it's very lightweight, very inexpensive, even brand new. But I was able to find it for $20. But going back to the point there, you can substitute certain items with any sort of kit to save more money. You can find a cheaper backpack, you could find a cheaper sleep system, so on and so forth. Now, a couple of you guys did point out some of those options there, some things that I could have done differently. One was that I used a titanium spoon for when I was eating breakfast, and honestly, I didn't even pay attention to that. It was already in my mess kit, and I should have brought some sort of plastic spoons, fork, something or other, whatever, something from the house. I mean, there's plenty of ways of saving money there. Now, one individual did point out that I was wearing my Fjallraven pants. I tell you what, I got them for a very inexpensive price. Some people pay more for their blue jeans than what I paid for those pants. Now, with the spoon, it was a gift, so that's pretty budget friendly. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I slept really, really well. Like I said, it was probably about 1 o'clock in the morning when I got into the bivvy, into the Eureka Solitaire Shelter. I actually brought my BlackBerry playbook so I could watch some movies, stuff like that, and I turned on, I don't even remember what I turned on because I fell asleep so quickly. And actually, I slept really hard that night. When I woke up, I almost felt worn out. I was really kind of just out of it. So it took me probably about 10 minutes just to kind of wake up and get ready mentally just to start filming again. That's probably just because I stayed up so late. But really slept good. I was nice and comfortable. The temperatures got down to about 47 degrees that morning. And that tech blanket did a great job. At no point in time was I chilled at all. When I actually got into bed, all I had on was my t-shirt and my boxer briefs. I don't like sleeping with pants on. I find that very uncomfortable. So I usually take my pants off when I go to bed. And plus, with your clothes, I don't want my dirty clothes coming into contact with my sleep system. Dirtying up your sleep system is not a good thing to do. It will hinder its ability to keep you warm. And washing it is always a huge pain in the butt. With the tech blanket, I'm a warm sleeper. So for me, it worked great to 50, 45 degrees. I know a lot of people, I've read plenty of reviews about it, they say about 50 degrees is their limit. So with that blanket, keep that in mind. What type of sleeper are you? Are you a hot sleeper, a cold sleeper? You might be able to sleep at 50 and be comfortable. You might be able to drop it down a couple degrees, still be comfortable. Or you may be chilled at 55. Just something to keep in mind. The Kelty Tioga external frame backpack, again, very, very awesome. Like I said in those videos, in the loadout and the actual adventure, you can find them very, very cheaply. I tell you what, I'm going to hop online right now, and let's take a look on eBay and see what we can find one for. Alright, I did a search for Kelty external frame pack, and let's just go ahead and see what we can find here. Here is a vintage Kelty external frame that looks virtually like mine for $30 or best offer, so you could probably get it for a little bit less. There are tons and tons of these packs. $60, there's plenty of different models. Here's one for $50. Here is a gray Tioga for $64. And really, that pack right there looks just like mine, except that it's gray. The price on it is $64. So, I mean, right there, $64, and you're getting yourself an external frame backpack. And as you guys know, or may know, external frame backpacks are really, really awesome at carrying heavier loads. So if you're going to be going out and your gear is more budget friendly, typically your gear is going to weigh more. So you may want an external frame pack. It's just another option, my friends. There's plenty of options out there. With the Kelty, very, very comfortable. We probably hiked a total of almost 2 miles, not too far. Some very steep terrain to get to our summer camping spot. Did a great job. Very, very comfortable. I have no complaints about it, really. That pack is very, very large, so I definitely had some room to add some food. If I wanted to, I could make that easily a week-long trip bag. There's that much space. Or it worked great for that overnight trip. It is a little bit heavy. That's an external frame pack for you right there. But overall, fantastic piece of kit. I have received lots of comments about filming this entire video at nighttime, and some people were really, really impressed. And some people said that it was awesome, but for them personally, they would be a little bit concerned about being out at nighttime by themselves. And really, experience out in the dark will cure all of your fears. You have to remember that in the darkness, there is nothing out there that wants to come and get you. Animals want nothing to do with you. The only real thing that you have to worry about when you're out in the dark at nighttime are other people. That's pretty much it. Unless you're running around with a bunch of steaks in your pocket, for some reason, you have nothing to worry about. This one viewer right here, he says that, I know there's no Slender Man or Blair Witch, ... but still, ... I'm not entirely sure what Slender Man is. I've heard something about that on the news, about some sort of killing or something. I do remember the Blair Witch. Seems like it was alright. But, yeah, when it comes to nighttime, backpacking and hiking around, I absolutely love it. When the sun goes down and the moon comes up, I get like my second wind. I can stay up all night long. I really can. I have to force myself to go to sleep. It's just something that I like. But I've spent a lot of my life outdoors and in the dark. When I was a kid, I mean, we would play around all night long outside. We loved it. Still do. A lot of people mentioned around the 22-minute mark that there were a set of glowing eyes behind me. That's interesting. Some people stated that it was a reflection of my headlamp. Some people thought it was actually eyes behind us. I have no idea. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. As far as the tent, our shelter, which is really more of a bivvy than a tent, the Eureka Solitaire, it did a great job. Very comfortable, very breathable. I really like that the fly on that can be rolled back. So if you live in a dry climate, you can actually roll it back and sleep and stare at the stars with like full bug protection. I think that's really, really awesome. Now for my climate, way too wet. There's no such thing as a dry spot in my area, so we definitely have to have the fly on, and I definitely had it on there. But still, I was able to anchor it out so there was a good airflow coming through underneath that fly. So the condensation in the morning wasn't too bad. I like that tent. It's very inexpensive. It's easy to set up. There's not too many negatives. I do wish that it was a different color than bright yellow, but you know how that goes with tents and shelters. The sleeping pad that we used for this adventure is the Banggood Spliced Cushion Sleeping Pad. It's got quite a name there. But you guys will find a review of that sleeping pad on my channel if you're interested. The thing that I really, really like about that sleeping pad is that it has the two baffles on it, right? In the middle, it is separated, so you have these two baffles that you can actually adjust the amount of air in each one. Now, for me here in the mountains, that is such a cool feature. It really separates that pad from everything else out there. Where I live, there is no such thing as flat, level ground. Everything is on a hill. One way or another, you're going to be rolling throughout the night. That sleeping pad right there solves that issue. I'm able, basically, to have those baffles like this, and I'm laying on top of this, right? So the hill goes like that. So I'm able to fill this one up more with air, and that one with less. So when I lay on it, it makes a flat surface. I cannot begin to tell you how freaking awesome that is. And where I was sleeping, there was a nice curvature. There was a nice slope to it. So I was able to blow that up, correct the slope of it, and be absolutely comfortable and not slide around all night long. Super, super awesome. Very inexpensive. Very good product. So when it comes to our gear, we've gone over the biggies. We talked about the Tioga pack. We talked about the Banggood sleeping pad. We've talked about the sleeping bag. That's a Therm-a-Rest tech blanket. Very, very good. We talked about our shelter, the Eureka Solitaire. And that pretty much covers all the big ones there. No point in actually going over the small stuff. One thing I do want to say is thank you all so very much to everybody on Facebook who submitted your questions that I answered throughout the video. Now, you guys submitted like 50 or 60 questions. I couldn't actually answer them all. And the truth is that I answered a lot of questions. Lots of questions that you guys didn't actually see the answer for. And that's because originally I left all the questions and answers in the video. And it was over like an hour and a half long. So I had to go back through and cut a lot of that stuff out. Because really, it just seemed too long to me. I didn't want to bore you guys to death. And I was a little bit worried that I may have bored you guys because I did a lot of talking. I did a lot of question and answer. So let me know what you guys thought. Was that a good amount? Should I try to tone it down just a little bit? You guys decide. Let me know your thoughts on it. Speaking of Facebook, again, thanks guys for all the questions, all the commentary, the back and forth. That really helped. Really set up that video and made it what it was. If there are any of you viewers, which I know there are, who haven't liked our Facebook page, go ahead, hop on over there, check it out. You'll find a link in the description box. I just recently posted some photos of a thunderstorm, so a little bit of storm chasing. Actually, I didn't have to do any chasing. This is a storm that actually came to me. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but I figured that you guys might enjoy seeing some of those photos. I know that 161 of you have liked those photos, so that's pretty cool. I told you guys in the past that I like to storm chase. I love weather photography, so if you guys are interested in seeing those photos, go ahead and check out our Facebook page. You might enjoy them. To wrap up this video, let's go over some comments from our viewers. Okay, this one individual says that he's glad to see me react to that spider because now he doesn't feel so bad. Mike, my friend, you don't have to worry. When I saw that spider, that was pretty controlled, and I controlled that for you all. The truth is, what I wanted to do was scream and run off into the woods, or possibly start a forest fire, burn everything to the ground. That's how much I dislike spiders. One individual suggested that my fear of spiders was from a lack of education, and I can actually correct you there, my friend. I know a great deal about spiders. I don't like them. Usually, a fear of spiders comes from a traumatic event, and the same goes for snakes. There's actually quite a bit of psychology behind that, so there you go. Lots of people said around the 22-minute mark, the glowing eyes. What do you think? What do you see? Go back and check it out. Right around 22 minutes. One viewer says that they wish they got to see more gear in action, and that makes perfect sense. Most of that video was filmed at nighttime. But the truth is, you guys saw pretty much every single component there, minus some of the small stuff, but, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Another comment about the eyes, this person says it was around the 23-minute mark. So, okay. Somebody else, 23 minutes. Jeff, thank you very much for your kind words. I'm glad that I'm uplifting. I'm glad that my positive attitude has some influence on everybody out there. I'll tell you what, folks, when it comes to attitude, you know, in life, you can be negative or you can be positive. And if you're a negative individual, everybody else will see that and it will hold you back. I promise you. If you're positive, you will create good things in your lives. Other people will recognize it. Some people may not like you for it, but most people will. It will take you places in your life that you never thought possible. I promise you that. I've known many people with bad attitudes, and it's always that way. And it will probably always be that way in their lives until they make a change. There are few people that I know who have positive attitudes like mine, and good things happen for them. They create good things in their lives. So, you know, you could smile or you can have a frown on your face and see how life goes for you. Lots of people says that Discovery Channel was trying to spin that whole situation to make Cody Lundin look bad. Charles wants to know, I always talk about the Vask shoes that I wear, and they are the Juxt, J-U-X-T. Awesome shoes. Mike wants to know, where did I get that tech blanket from? And I picked that up from geartrade.com. I paid 20 bucks for it. It was used. Looks brand new. It is an awesome piece of kit. Now, one individual said, so I guess you don't like guns. I really have no idea what that's about, but I like guns just fine. Oh, Self-Reliance Alliance says that given your reaction to the spider, I can safely assume that you didn't go home and watch Arachnophobia. No! This viewer here says that while I was filming my adventure, he was out on his first adventure, and he went out about 5 hours from home, up in the mountains, and had a 50-pound pack. He said that he learned a lot. My friend, that is awesome. Congratulations to you for getting out there. Live and learn, my friend. That's what it's all about. Have fun, be safe, and I can't wait to see some photos posted on Facebook, man. I'd love to see them. This individual here says that his first backpacking trip was very similar to what I stated. Too heavy, not going to use half the gear, and you learn a lot. That's how it goes. That's what your first trip, that's what all trips are all about. It's all about learning what works, what doesn't work, what works better. That's what it's all about. My friends, I want to say thank you all so very much for watching this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. Thank you so very much for watching the After Hours Budget Overnight Adventure. I appreciate all your comments, all the feedback. Very awesome indeed. If anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to drop me a line, let me know. Make sure to check out our Facebook page, our website. You'll find links down below. Strength and honor, my friends. Be well.